Just really proud of my team. It's not easy to make it to this point. It's not easy to win every game, and it's not easy to win them convincingly. So I'm just really proud of them. I think that for the last 2 games playing out of conference, we did a great job handling that. We went down a little bit today and fought back, didn't let anything rattle us, whether it be going down, Izzy getting carted out, whatever it was, we had an answer. And that's what I'm most proud of today's effort.
Questions for Coach Moni Hillard?
Obviously, at the start of the game, you guys were down 6-1, then you come back and score an amazing amount of goals to go unanswered. Do you say anything to your team in that timeout just to get them sparking or anything like that?
I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was just like, we have to wake up. Like, these guys have nothing to lose, and we got to go out there and compete for every play. And so that was pretty much the gist of it. And I knew we've been down this season, which has been helpful, and been in that position, and I think they had a lot of confidence in themselves, and just chip away one play at a time.
Did you think it was more of like your team just maybe came out with not as much energy as you needed when they got up to that 6-1 start Duke did, or do you think like you guys just started executing better the rest of the game? Like, was it more of an execution standpoint that really changed the game, or just like you guys playing with more energy, more aggressive, better mindset?
I think better energy, better execution once we started to get it going. And I think this team really feeds off of each other. So one person makes a play, then it kind of spirals into more opportunities and more plays. And I just think that Duke came out like with a lot of energy, but I think that we were able to match that when we needed to, and then continue. And I think that we wore them down pretty good.
Coach, playing the season in the midst of a pandemic, going undefeated, and then linking to today being down 6-1 and then winning 22-10, can you kind of speak about the theme of adversity and your team kind of being able to persevere and get the job done?
Absolutely. I think, just thinking back to when we first came back to school, it was like, we had to social distance and we could only partner pass, and, it was kind of crazy, and we had no idea if, the season would come, and then football got canceled, and that was devastating for everyone, and then when they reinstated football, it was like, okay, now we have hope back, and one team is playing nationally, and then it was just like, okay, let's just focus on ourselves, get better. We can't play anyone, we're just going to get better every day. And we didn't get our schedule until a week before the season. And, then we were just elated to have the opportunity to play. So, for us, we're just taking, we're not taking anything for granted. We're taking every opportunity. And just the fact that I can say we're going to the Final Four, I'm not sure any of us would have imagined it, when we first came back in the fall. And that's a really cool thing. There's a lot of people that have worked really hard to make that happen, and not just, our team, but a lot of people, at Northwestern, on staff, the medical people, people at the Big Ten, and they kept us safe all season long. And so, we're very excited that we can go to the Final Four and showcase the Big Ten.
You all sort of dominated the draw from the beginning of today's game, and Duke's team and Maddie Jenner in particular are very skilled at the draw. What did you all focus on to make sure you dominated from the start?
Yeah, I think that, my coach texted me earlier this week, and she said, you need an answer for the draw. And I said, we have multiple answers. We have Jill Girardi, we have Brennan Dwyer, we've got Lindsay McComb, we didn't even have to go to her. And, our circle play is just tremendous. So we feel very confident going into today in that area. And, it's just like, we feel like we have a great game on the draw, and we feel that teams should have to worry about us. We know, I said to my team, at this point in the season, every team we're going to play against has great draw people. That's just what it takes to be at this level. And so we know we're going to have to bring it, on Friday night as well.
And the ACC was very heavily favored in the seeding for the tournament and the national rankings throughout the season. What do you think it says to play the ACC for the first time this year and come away with such a big win?
I don't know. You tell me what it says. I mean, we're excited, and to have the opportunity to play an ACC team, our team was not. They were so pumped, and we'll probably have another opportunity on Friday night too. So I don't know what the score of that game is, but Syracuse has been amazing all season. Florida has done a great job though too, so I'm sure that'll be a great battle. But the ACC has been very strong, and the Big Ten just didn't have the chance to kind of prove ourselves this year. So now we do.
Coach, in 2019, losing in the Final Four, you still maintain a bunch of those players on the roster, and then looking at the 2020 season being canceled, and now 2021, those players still being here and going back to the Final Four. What is it like for those veterans on the team, and kind of what have you seen from them across the season that's gotten you to this point?
Yeah, I think we were pretty disappointed in our performance at the Final Four the last time around. We played Maryland for the third time. We beat them convincingly in the Big Ten tournament, and they had just an unbelievable team that year. So for us, I think my husband always says it's a process, and I think that was part of the process for us, and has led us to this moment. And we could not be more excited. I feel ready for this moment, and we're great. We're grateful for the opportunity.
What was going through your head as you're scoring all these goals?
I think we just have such a deadly attack because we have so many threats. So it makes it really hard for other teams to stop, because you slide off of one person or you face guard one person, someone else is going to open up. So I think, just based on how they were playing us, I was able to create some lanes for myself and go to goal. But I think it's really just a tribute to how deadly everyone is in our attack.
Lauren, playing this season in the midst of a pandemic and being down today 6-1 and then coming back to win 22-10, there's a theme of this team being able to fight through adversity. Can you speak on that, both in terms of COVID delaying the season and then being able to bounce back today and kind of book a spot in the Final Four?
Yeah, totally. Something I've been saying about this team in pretty much every interview is we just have this unwavering will to win, and I never doubt in a game that we're going to come out on top, and I don't think anyone does. So even if the other team goes on a run, it's all right, we're fine. And I think that's kind of been the mentality the entire year. Like you said, there's been so many things thrown at us, and we've handled it with just such grace, and we've really stayed together through everything. So I think we carry that same mentality onto the field, and we'd like to come out stronger in the next game, I think, but when other teams do go up on us, it really doesn't shake us at all.
You played a big role on the draw circle today. Even when you guys were very far behind, you guys came off very well on the draw. And Duke's Maddie Jenner is obviously known as one of the best draw specialists in the country. How did you guys focus and prepare to win and dominate on the draw today?
Yeah, the draw is always such a huge point of emphasis for us. Kelly always says, the draw is the best defense. So I think, Jill's obviously been killing it lately. Brennan's also great on the draw. So I think we just have such a strong draw team, and our draw girls put in so much work. And I thought we had really good communication with the circle today. And I think we were just all in. We had a really good strategy going into the game to just get on Maddie Jenner's hands, because she likes to win it up high in the air. So we were able to just attack it and win a lot of those 50-50 balls, which is key.
What was it like, 770 fans roughly today in the stands? What was that like, having that as your go-to spot for the National Semifinals?
It's so cool. Home field advantage is truly such an advantage. I think, especially given that earlier in the season we weren't able to have any fans, and we kind of had to bring the energy for each other. So to have such a huge crowd on top of that gives us so much energy, and it's pretty special. We've waited 2 years to get back here, and I think we're just trying to soak it in and get ready for the next game. But it's definitely really special to be able to win at home and be able to get this advance to the Final Four at home.
Feel like we're going to face Syracuse next week. Any thoughts already about this team that you're going to face, or anything like that?
Obviously we kind of had a feeling that we were going to start facing these teams in the playoffs, but I think we do like to focus on ourselves. We have practiced against man and zone defenses all throughout this season. We've practiced against all types of different draw girls. I think a lot of people like to talk about the difference between the ACC and the Big Ten, but at the end of the day, it's just another team for us to compete against. So, we'll get into the scouting more this week, but we haven't really gotten into too many specifics yet.
Going back to Maryland, in 2019 you made the Final Four, you lose. 2020 the season's canceled abruptly, and now 2021 you're going back, and you and a lot of other players on this team, some of the veterans were on that team. What's it like to have that experience in 2019 and now be able to go back and try this time to go compete for a championship and win it?
Yeah, I think it's key to have so many veterans on this team who were there in 2019 at the Final Four, because I think there was a little bit of like a shock to the system when we stepped out onto the field in the Final Four that year. Obviously like Maryland had been there before, they were comfortable, we looked uncomfortable when we stepped out onto the field, and I think we've had a chip on our shoulder ever since then, and we're not going to have that shock when we step onto the field anymore. We're just going to have certainty and belief in each other, and that's been cultivated over the past 2 years, so I think we're heading into Baltimore really confident.
You're back in the Final Four. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, we're super excited. I think it's where we were expecting to be this year, just with how hard our team's been working and the expectations we've set for ourselves. And yeah, we're super excited. I think it's just another opportunity to keep playing for another week and play more games. And yeah, all together, we're really excited.
You guys were trailing 6-1 at the media timeout in the first. What was that conversation like during that pause, and how did you get your momentum back to win?
Yeah, I think Kelly kind of talked to us and basically just said nothing's just going to come. You're going to have to bust your butts and work for every little play and every little detail. And I think instead of focusing on what the score was, we just focused on the little things that we work on every day to make us successful. And I think we all just held on to that and just focused on the little things and made sure we were all just doing collectively the things we could do to help the team out. And I think our team does a really good job of staying calm in situations like that. Like, there's never a second where we doubt that we're going to end up back on top. And I think having a group of girls who can stay that calm and just know what's going to happen if we keep doing the right things is super, super helpful when situations like that occur.
That moment,
Okay, you were really strong in transition today. Not something that we've seen from you too much in the midfield this season. So what was different today?
I think that's all the credit goes to my teammates. I think I kind of got lucky with basically cherry picking there. I think girls were causing turnovers, and I just so happened to be in a spot where if you got the ball to me, I'd basically have a one-on-one with the goalie, and I think all the credit goes to them for causing those turnovers and making the defense frantic when they're trying to get the ball up the field, and I think we did a really good job riding the entire day from offense all the way down to our D, and I think I was just in a good spot to kind of finish it for the team, which is an awesome position to be in, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
You being one of the veterans on this team, having played in 2019 in the Final Four, when that buzzer sounds and your team runs onto the field, you all celebrate and then run to the stands to celebrate. Just can you take us through what that was like for you?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, we're all just so happy to be back here, and I think we have a lot of older girls on the team who have done this for years, and we've all just been itching to get back on the field, and with so much uncertainty going into the season of what it was even going to look like, and it being all Big Ten teams and not even knowing if there was going to be a tournament or anything, I think we're all just super, super grateful and thankful that we're back here again, able to celebrate together and just play the game we love for another day and continue into next weekend.
This is only your guys' second non-conference game this season, first against the ACC, who's pretty heavily favored in the seeding and the national rankings throughout the year. What was it like coming away with such a big win over an ACC team and a national seed?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of talk. I think Big Ten's an amazing conference. I think ACC is as well. But I think, as Lauren was kind of saying, the main focus is on ourselves. And I think we knew who we were as a team and just focused on that in the mix of people talking and whatever they're going to say about the ACC and the Big Ten. I think we did a good job of just not letting that get to our heads and just focusing on ourselves as a team and just proving what we had to prove in terms of all the hard work we've been putting in to be successful. And I think it panned out well in the game today. And Duke's a great team, and I think we just played a really, really good game, and we've just been working hard together as a group. And yeah, it panned out how we were hoping it would.
That period in 2020 when the season was canceled and kind of the whole team was separated, not in Evans, then everybody was in home quarantining at the beginning of the pandemic, kind of, was this the common mindset of we're going to get back to this place at the top of the country?
Yeah, for sure. I think with everything, how crazy everything was, the main focus was just eventually we're going to get out of this and eventually we're going to be back on the field, and we can either take a step back during this time and just kind of relax and put our foot off the gas, or we can collectively as a group like work hard to make sure when we do get back, we're the ones that have been busting our butts the most over this time period of uncertainty. And I think everyone did that during quarantine, and we got back here, and from the moment we stepped on campus, we're just putting 150% and just being super grateful that we're here. And I think that's panned out really well in terms of our success. I think it definitely comes from our mindset during that period and just coming back into campus and back towards actually getting to play together.